अंतरिक्ष में जीवन रक्षक तकनीक कैसे बचते हैं अंतरिक्ष यात्री? Imagine hurtling through space at thousands of kilometers per hour. Now imagine something goes wrong. An engine failure, a micrometeoroid strike, a system malfunction. In the vast emptiness of space, even a tiny error can cascade into a life or death situation. From the moment a rocket leaves the launch pad to the astronaut's safe return to Earth, a complex web of life-saving technologies stands guard. Safety isn't just a box to be checked. It's woven into the very fabric of every mission, ready to kick into action at a moment's notice. Launch Escape System Rockets Express Exit. Picture this. You're an astronaut, strapped into a rocket, about to embark on humanity's most daring adventure. But as the engines roar to life, something goes critically wrong. It's a nightmare scenario, but thankfully there's a plan, the Launch Escape System, or LES. Think of it as the ultimate ejector seat, not for a single pilot, but for the entire crew capsule. If something goes awry, it ignites its own powerful motor, yanking the crew capsule away from the doomed rocket, with enough force to escape the ensuing fireball. Back in the Apollo era, the LES sat atop the command module, resembling a pointed tower. When activated, it would blast the capsule away, carrying the astronauts to safety. Fast forward to today, and companies like SpaceX are revolutionizing the LES with their Crew Dragon spacecraft. Instead of a tower on top, the Crew Dragon incorporates powerful Super Draco engines directly into the capsule. These engines act as a built-in escape system, capable of propelling the astronauts away from danger at any point during the launch ascent. Radiation shield, अंतरिक्ष के अदृश्य खतरे से बचाव. We all know space is a pretty harsh environment. But one of the most insidious threats lurking out there is something we can't even see or feel. Radiation. Here on Earth, we're shielded from the worst of it by our planet's magnetic field and atmosphere. But in space, astronauts are bombarded by a constant stream of charged particles from the sun, and even more energetic cosmic rays from beyond our solar system. This radiation can be incredibly damaging to human cells, increasing the risk of cancer and other health problems. That's why spacecraft and spacesuits are designed with radiation shielding to protect our intrepid explorers. The most common material used is aluminum, but for longer missions like a trip to Mars, we need to up our shielding game. That's where materials like polyethylene come in. It's a type of plastic, believe it or not, that's even better at stopping those pesky cosmic rays. Scientists are constantly researching and developing new, more effective shielding materials. Life support system. अंतरिक्ष में सांस कैसे लेते हैं? You're floating in the International Space Station, gazing out at the Earth, a breathtaking blue marble. Life support systems make this possible. They recreate Earth's environment inside a metal box, providing air, water, and a comfortable temperature. The ECLSS is the station's lungs, using electrolysis to split water into oxygen. It also removes carbon dioxide with lithium hydroxide scrubbers and regulates temperature, ensuring comfort and system efficiency. A symphony of pumps, filters, and sensors creates a habitable bubble. आग बुझाने के अनोखे तरीके. जब अंतरिक्ष में लगे आग, here on Earth, if a fire breaks out, we have the luxury of calling the fire department. But in the confined, oxygen-rich environment of a spacecraft, a fire isn't just dangerous, it's potentially catastrophic. That's why fire suppression takes on a whole new level of importance when you're millions of kilometers from the nearest fire station. The first line of defense is, of course, prevention. Spacecraft materials are carefully chosen for their fire-retardant properties. Wires are insulated with special materials, and even the astronauts' clothing is designed to self-extinguish if it comes into contact with a flame. But if a fire does break out, we need to be ready. You can't exactly use a regular fire extinguisher in space. The chemicals they use can be toxic, and in a zero-gravity environment, the extinguishing agent would just disperse into a cloud, potentially making things worse. So, what's the solution? Well, spacecraft are equipped with specialized fire extinguishers that use different methods to combat flames. Some use carbon dioxide, which displaces oxygen and suffocates the fire. Others use foam or water mist, which work by cooling the burning material and cutting off the supply of oxygen. Redundant system backup ही आपका सबसे बड़ा सहारा है. In the world of space exploration, where the stakes are astronomically high and the margin for error is razor thin, we have a saying, redundancy. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. When you're millions of kilometers from Earth, relying on a single system for anything is a recipe for disaster. That's why spacecraft are designed with redundancy in mind, from the engines to the life support systems and everything in between. Think about it like this. You wouldn't go on a road trip with only half a tank of gas and no spare tire, would you? The same principle applies to space travel. One of the most famous examples of redundancy in action is the Apollo 13 mission. When an oxygen tank exploded, crippling the primary systems, the crew was forced to rely on the lunar module's backup systems to survive. And survive they did, thanks to the foresight of engineers who designed the spacecraft with multiple layers of redundancy. Returning to Earth from space isn't as simple as falling straight down. It's a controlled plunge through the atmosphere, generating incredible heat due to friction. Imagine a meteor streaking across the sky, burning brightly. Heat shields protect spacecraft from turning into fiery cinders. During re-entry, speeds can exceed 28,000 kilometers per hour. Air molecules compress, creating a shockwave of superheated plasma. Heat shields absorb and dissipate this intense heat. Early spacecraft used ablative heat shields. These materials burned away, carrying heat with them. Modern spacecraft use thermal protection systems like Pika-X. Pika-X withstands extreme temperatures without ablating. After surviving the fiery plunge through the atmosphere, you'd think landing would be the easy part, right? Well, not so fast. Bringing a spacecraft back to Earth safely is a delicate balancing act, a controlled descent from thousands of kilometers per hour to a gentle touchdown. It's a testament to human ingenuity and engineering prowess, where parachutes and landing systems work in perfect harmony to ensure a smooth return for our spacefaring heroes. For decades, parachutes have been the go-to method for slowing down spacecraft during their final descent. These massive, intricately designed canopies deploy in stages, gradually increasing drag and slowing the spacecraft to a safe landing speed. Think of them as giant air brakes, gracefully guiding the spacecraft back to Earth. Modern spacecraft, like SpaceX's Crew Dragon, utilize a combination of parachutes and powerful thrusters to control their descent and landing. These thrusters fire in carefully choreographed sequences, fine-tuning the capsule's trajectory and ensuring a pinpoint landing in the ocean. It's like having a jetpack for your spacecraft, providing an extra layer of control and precision. The moment a spacecraft splashes down or touches down after a journey beyond Earth, a new mission begins crew recovery. It's a carefully orchestrated process involving teams of highly trained specialists, ships, helicopters, and a healthy dose of nail-biting tension. Because even though the astronauts are back on Earth, their journey isn't over until they're safe and sound on terra firma. Imagine this: a capsule bobs gently in the vast expanse of the ocean, its occupants having just endured the fiery crucible of atmospheric re-entry. Within minutes, a recovery team swoops in, like a well-rehearsed ballet of boats and helicopters. Divers plunge into the water, securing the capsule and ensuring its stability. Medical personnel stand ready to receive the astronauts, checking their vitals and providing any necessary medical attention. For missions landing on land, the process is slightly different, but no less intense. Helicopters descend from the sky, their rotors kicking up dust as they approach the landing site. From launch escape systems to the intricate dance of atmospheric re-entry and the dedication of recovery teams, we've seen how astronaut safety is paramount in every aspect of space exploration. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our unwavering determination to push the boundaries of what's possible. But the journey doesn't end here. As we venture further into the cosmos, we'll continue to develop even more advanced safety systems. Imagine AI-powered spacecraft monitoring systems, predicting and mitigating potential problems before they even arise. Picture even more robust heat shields, capable of withstanding the scorching temperatures of atmospheric entry on other planets. Envision emergency return vehicles standing by to evacuate astronauts from the lunar surface or Mars in case of an emergency.